Missed the first list? Don't worry. These British classics hit just as hard. More quiet heartbreak, more sharp edges, more unforgettable moments. Part 2 dives even deeper into the films every true cinema lover should see. So, first stop, we're heading to the gritty streets of 1990s London, Mike Leigh's film from 1993, Naked. And this is not your typical postcard view of the city. Not at all. It's incredibly raw, really unflinching, looking at nocturnal life, and it's all through the eyes of Johnny. He's this like super sharp-witted but kind of restless drifter. David Thewlis plays him, and it's just an incredible, intense performance. The film basically follows his encounters with various, marginalized people, and in doing that, it lays bare some pretty harsh truths about, well, societal breakdown. What makes Naked so potent, I think, even now? Bleakness? But there are also these flashes of like dark humor, moments of unexpected vulnerability. Too, by the way, the filming, it often involved a lot of improvisation. So it gives it this really visceral, almost documentary feel. You feel like you're right there. Its confrontational honesty actually won it top awards at Cannes, which really solidified its place. A modern British classic that still challenges you, really digs into alienation, nihilism, that sort of thing. Okay, now let's journey back a bit further to 1960 in a film that was initially condemned, really slammed, but now hailed as a masterpiece of psychological horror, Michael Powell's Peeping Tom. This one is genuinely unsettling. Places you, the viewer, uncomfortably close to the shy cameraman who, well, he films his victim's final, terrifying moments. What's so fascinating, and I mean still deeply relevant for horror today, is how Powell uses that lurid technicolor. It's so striking. And this disturbingly intimate point of view, it almost makes you feel complicit, you know? Like you're the voyeur too. The film just builds this palpable tension. It really blurs the lines between who's watching who. It's a chilling look at voyeurism and maybe the darker side of cinema itself. It nearly ended Powell's career when it came out, maybe not. But its daring themes, its innovative techniques, they've now cemented its reputation. A film truly ahead of its time. Let's move to something different. The passionate intensity of D.H. Lawrence, but envisioned by Ken Russell, his 1969 adaptation of Women in Love. This is visually just so rich, emotionally charged. It delves into all the complexities of, love, sexuality, the search for meaning, set in post-World War I England. What makes this film so memorable, I think, is Russell's style. It's bold, often audacious, really. He puts these stunning, picturesque scenes right up against a really frank, groundbreaking imagery. Like, probably the most famous example is that nude wrestling scene. Very controversial then. And anchoring all this swirling world of like romance and philosophy is Glenda Jackson. Her performance is just so powerful. She won an Oscar for it. Women in Love was, pretty scandalous for its time. Really pushed censorship boundaries, and it remains just this potent, visually stunning exploration of very intricate human relationships. Okay, let's shift gears again. A different kind of intensity now, more like atmospheric dread. Nicholas Roeg's 1973 occult thriller, Don't Look Now. This one is set against Venice in winter, but it's a disorienting, melancholic, beautiful Venice. And the film centers on a couple who are grappling with this devastating loss, the loss of their child. What truly sets this film apart for me is Roeg's editing style. It's distinctive, very fragmented, and those recurring flashes of the color red, you notice them all the time. These techniques create this like dreamlike, almost nightmarish atmosphere where the city itself, the environment, seems to eerily mirror their inner grief, their growing unease. The whole film has this allegorical but deeply unsettling tone, and it culminates in this twist ending that's just it's heartbreaking but also unforgettable. It's often ranked among Britain's greatest horror films. Moving into the world of espionage next, Sidney J. Fury's really stylish 1965 Cold War thriller, The Ipcress File. Now, this film, it offers a kind of refreshing antidote, you could say, to the suave glamour of James Bond. It opts for a much more grounded, shadowy realism set in these kind of drab London locales. And at the heart of it all is Michael Caine, his iconic portrayal of Harry Palmer. He's this sardonic, working-class spy, spectacled, not glamorous, and he uncovers this chilling, brainwashing plot. What makes this film so cool and actually really influential is Fury's innovative cinematic style. Really interesting stuff. I think canted angles, tilted shots, close-ups framed through like cluttered things in the foreground, jarring cuts too, all building this sense of paranoia, bureaucratic intrigue. And added to that, a really jazzy score by John Barry, who also did Bond, funnily enough, plus authentic, gritty locations. It all works together. The Ipcress File was a critical hit at the time. It really redefined the spy genre with its cool realism, and of course, Kane's charismatic anti-hero. If you're enjoying these British classics, hit subscribe. There's plenty more where this came from. Okay, our journey now takes maybe a darker, more poetic turn, with Carol Reed's 1947 film noir, Odd Man Out. This is a really tragic fugitive tale. It's steeped in night shadows and moral ambiguity. James Mason gives this deeply soulful performance, just incredible. He plays a wounded Irish rebel leader who's on the run through the winter streets of Belfast. What makes this film so compelling is, well, its exploration of moral dilemmas, and also Reed's use of these expressionistic visual techniques. Very striking. You get, like, disordered perspectives, looming shadows, even hallucinations that vividly convey the protagonist's fading consciousness, his, desperation. The emotional tone is one of, well, intense tension, yes, but also profound compassion as you witness the different reactions of the people he encounters. Beyond just the gripping story, Odd Man Out resonates as this powerful allegory about violence, fate, and, the human condition, especially in the aftermath of war. And speaking of Carol Reed, well, we absolutely have to talk about his 1949 masterpiece, The Third Man. I mean, this film is just pure noir perfection. Really filmed in this stunning black and white, distinctive shadowy cinematography, and of course that unforgettable zither score by Anton Karas. It just seems to drift through the streets. The plot follows an American writer, Holly Martins, that's Joseph Cotton. He's investigating the mysterious quote-unquote death of his friend Harry Lime in post-war Vienna. And Harry Lime brought to life with such captivating ambiguity by Orson Welles, who delivers that legendary, mostly improvised cuckoo clock speech. What makes this film so enduring is its atmosphere. It's just palpable. The bombed-out buildings, the lamplit streets, the half-lit faces, it's all there. And the morally gray world it depicts, culminating in that iconic chase through the Vienna sewers. The Third Man's blend of suspense, cynicism, and sheer visual brilliance, and it constantly tops polls of the best British films. And it continues to inspire filmmakers even today. Its influence is huge. Okay, let's jump back to 1993 for a moment for a period drama, but one of remarkable refinement. It quietly examines duty and regret. James Ivory's The Remains of the Day. Anthony Hopkins delivers, well, it's a career-defining performance, really, as Stevens. Stevens is this impeccably reserved English butler, serving a grand estate just before World War II. And he's grappling with this unwavering sense of duty, but also his repressed feelings for the estate's housekeeper, Miss Kenton, played with such warmth, such nuance by Emma Thompson. What makes this film so deeply affecting, I think, is its elegant, restrained style. So much is communicated through just like subtle glances, hushed conversations. It creates this atmosphere of profound longing, this aching poignancy. It's quite something. It was nominated for 8 Academy Awards. Interestingly, based on Kazuo Ishiguro's novel, it's just a powerful, really moving exploration of unspoken love and the enduring consequences of a life lived in rigid adherence to duty, maybe at the expense of personal happiness. Next up, something a little lighter perhaps, but no less brilliant. Ang Lee's 1995 adaptation of Jane Austen's Sense and Sensibility. This film is it's brimming with wit and genuine emotion, real heart, presented through this beautifully warm sort of literary lens. It perfectly balances the elegance of the Regency era with deeply felt human experiences. Emma Thompson, again, she not only plays the sensible Eleanor, but she also wrote the screenplay and won an Oscar for it. Incredible talent. Kate Winslet shines as the passionate Marianne, the sensibility part of the title. The film just gracefully follows their journeys, through love and heartbreak, all within the strict social constraints of the time. Class, propriety, all that. What makes this adaptation so successful, I feel, is its ability to really bring out Austen's sharp humor while also delivering moments of profound emotional resonance. And it's all set against the backdrop of the lush English countryside, with a graceful score. Sense and Sensibility just beautifully illustrates the enduring power of both, well, intelligence and feeling. And finally, we arrive at Lewis Gilbert's 1983 film, a social dramedy called Educating Rita. This is just an inspiring, often really funny two-hander, a film focused on two main characters that finds both humor and genuine pathos in this unlikely connection between Rita, played brilliantly by Julie Walters. She's a working-class hairdresser who's determined to get an education to better herself, and her jaded university tutor, Frank, played wonderfully by Michael Caine. Again, most of it is set in Frank's book-lined study, very contained, so the film really thrives on its witty, insightful dialogue, and crucially, the undeniable chemistry between Walters and Caine. They're just fantastic together. Both of them deservedly won BAFTAs for their performances. What makes Educating Rita so uplifting, I think, is its exploration of class prejudice, but also the transformative power of education. It offers this really hopeful message about self-discovery, and the possibility of personal growth, really at any stage of life. There you have 10 more essential British films. Subscribe to Vintage Verse for stories that linger, challenge, and quietly transform.